Yeah, we're going to go to Reggie Bush. Joining us live right now is USC Trojan football legend Reggie Bush. Reggie, thanks a lot for coming on, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you guys hear me?
Yep,
gotcha.
We can hear you, Reggie. Can you hear us?
Amazing.
Okay.
New technology I'm working on over here, but we all good.
All right,
Awesome,
man.
man.
So, Reggie, I tell the story all the time. I only saw two players in college in my whole career that I thought, that guy's going to the NFL and he's going to be great. The first one was Marshall Faulk when I was a reporter in San Diego. The second one was you. Now, I knew you grew up in San Diego. Were you a Marshall Faulk fan as a kid, or did you miss that era?
Oh, 100%. And if I had more time, I literally would run into my room right now. I have a bin of old cut-up tapes that I used to study in college, and I had a bunch of Marshall Faulk cut-up tapes, and they were just different plays and different runs of his from when he played with the St. Louis Rams, and they were the greatest show on turf. Because when I was at USC, Norm Chow, Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, a lot of the things that we did on offense were patterned after what the Rams did with Marshall.
Yeah.
Wow, makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So, Reggie, I was doing pregame and postgame during the days that you were at USC. I'm wondering, when they stole your Heisman, did you keep a spot for it so that you had a place to put it when they gave it back to you?
By the way, Reggie, we talked about going and stealing it for you. We thought it was so wrong that they took it away from you. Did you always save a spot for it?
Always, right here.
Yeah.
Right here in my heart. I always knew that, no matter what they tried to say about me, no matter whatever stories they created about me, it wasn't true. And there was no facts behind it to even back it up. So I always kept it right here in my heart. I knew who the true Heisman winner was. Even when they tried to give my Heisman away, they tried to give it to Vince Young when they took it from me. And, amazing story came out of that because me and Vince are still good friends to this day. But I've told this story before. Vince told them no and said, that's Reggie's Heisman. I don't want it. And I just felt like, man, in that moment, they just beat us in the national championship. It just showed a lot of character, from BY. And, that's why we're friends to this day. But yeah, I always had a place for it right here in my heart. I always knew, who the true Heisman winner was.
I've always wondered, Reggie, that game, Mason and I were at that game, and we were at the 50-yard line. We had great seats.
Yep.
It's probably the best college football game I've ever seen in person. But you were so used to winning, and you had so few losses in college. Now that you're removed from it, 20 years removed from it, do you now look back on that as one of the great games of all time, or will you always look at it as something that went wrong and you don't even want to deal with it?
Yeah, no, I look at it as one of the greatest games ever played at the college football level. When you talk about just the amount of talent that was on the football field on both sides of the ball, Texas offense, defense, USC offense, defense, a lot of first-round draft picks, came from those teams. And a lot of great players, long careers, came from those teams as well. And so, I don't know if we'll ever see another game like that with that much talent, on the football field. When you talk about NIL that's available to kids, the transfer portal that's also available to college players. I don't know if we're going to see teams stacked like that, in the way that it was when you saw those two football teams collide. And I never forget, that moment, that game. It was amazing. Practicing day in and day out against that defense I practiced against the best defense every day. And so that's why, I felt like we were so good on offense, because we truly made each other better. They saw the best offense, the best running backs, the best receivers, and we saw vice versa, the best D-line, linebackers, safeties, corners.
So there is so much money floating around college football now. There is so much NIL money. You mentioned the transfer portal. What's your take on what's going on? Because it is very much the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. My take on it is that NIL is amazing. It's great. I'm so glad that players have that available to them now, but it's not the solution. It's not the fix, to the bigger issue, which is college football and basketball players being exploited for money. The solution would be for them to collectively to unionize first, to be able to collectively bargain. Right now, I think college football, basketball players, they need protection because it is the wild, wild west. And, we're hearing about different stories of players making good decisions or bad decisions, whatever that is. But we have so much ownership now that's placed back on the players. I truly believe they need more protection now than they've ever needed it because some of these decisions that they're making are life-impacting decisions. And you talk about the amount of money that's involved, that's being passed around. College football, basketball, it's always been big business. We just have never had the privilege of being involved in it until now.
Yeah, so I want to go back to your playing days for just a second, Reggie. I'm a huge UCLA fan,
Yep.
and you ran all over. I watched you run all over the field on the Rose Bowl, at the Coliseum, over and over again. But I think the best play I ever saw you ran was against Fresno State with the stop and then move to the other side of the field. Was that your favorite play that you've ever had?
That's definitely one of them. And listen, I learned. You talk about guys like Marshall Faulk earlier. Barry Sanders. These are all guys that I looked up to, that I idolized, that, I wanted to take little bits and pieces, from all of these players. And, I felt like I was, able to get, as close as possible to that. But that run is definitely one of, I feel like, when you think about great athletes, like the greatest, they all have like a signature play that you can remember, you can think of, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was a signature play for me. That when people see me, they right away resonate or think about that play, that moment, where they were at, when that happened. And I love that, man, because that's what the game was about for me. It was about making highlights, having fun, playing our heart out on the football field, trying to bring home championships, Heisman trophies. And, we were able to accomplish a lot, while I was there. But that run is definitely one that sticks out. I'll tell you another one of my favorite runs was actually I had a punt return against Oregon State, and it was in the fog. Because it was kind of dubbed as the fog bowl. And the reason why I'm talking about this specific play is because it was so foggy I couldn't see the ball when the ball was kicked.
Wow.
So I had to let the ball hit the ground just so I could see it, and luckily it bounced right to me into my stomach.
I have never heard this story. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And there was a guy who was literally 2 steps away from me, and I gave him a little shoulder shimmy, spin move, and then I was right next to the sideline, and then I just darted all the way across the field and ran back to punt. But, that was one of my favorite plays because, again, it was so foggy, even on TV, that people couldn't see the game. And it was even tougher for us while we were at the game. We couldn't even see the other sideline. So,
can you believe that your coach, Pete Carroll, 73 years old, is still in the league and still coaching?
It's crazy, man. He's just, he's got a different battery. I got to be honest with you. Like, he's got a different battery that most people don't have. And, I think that's one of the things that resonated, with our team in college at USC was just Pete just had great energy. Like, he wasn't, he was older when he was with us. Now he's real old. But he's just always had that fun, youthful energy. And I think more than anything, that's what has translated to coaching for him and why he's been successful.
We're talking to Reggie Bush, and Reggie has gone into business with Travis Matthew. Reggie, I'm friends with all those guys. I'm friends with Ryan Ellis and Paul Gray, and I'm going to be calling them and telling them to, if you go online, if you just type into a Google search, Reggie Bush, Travis Matthew, you will get a look at Reggie's collection. And Reggie, the two things I want the coin toss quarter zip hoodie, and what I really want is the touchdown jacket. That touchdown jacket is sweet. What's your favorite thing in the Reggie Bush collection? Is it one of those or is it something else?
There's a couple pieces in there that I really love. But this shirt I'm wearing right here is unique in it's the first time it's ever been done before. You got a golf shirt with a hoodie attached to it.
This is great.
And
that's the the featherweight stealth hoodie that he's talking about. Go ahead, Reggie. Sorry.
Exactly. and it's one of my designs, one of my creations. I'm a hoodie guy. I love putting hoodies on everything possible, and I came up with this. It worked out. I think the shirt came out great. So it's a mint green Army fatigue. We also have a black and gray Army fatigue with a black hoodie. And one of the concepts for my line is I wanted to create outfits. So you see a matching hat, we got a shirt, we got a pair of shorts and pants to match. So that when you go in the Travis Matthews store, you see my line, my collection, you got a whole outfit right there for you.
That's
you don't
awesome,
have to
man.
Go get a shirt from here, go get some pants from another store. Like, we have a whole outfit right here for you.
So
one of the other things I love about –
Yeah, go ahead, Reggie. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, one of the things I love about, like I said, we have an outfit. This is a newer style hat. You see the stitching is going across the forehead as opposed to straightened down like the traditional hats. And then last thing I added on there was just a little spot for your golf tee. When you're getting ready to tee off. I just hate having tees in my pocket. Your tees falling out the pocket. You're trying to pull a ball out. We got a spot for you right here.
That's awesome, man. Well, the Reggie Bush collection is now available with Travis Matthew.
Yeah, you can look at it online, or you can go into a Travis Matthews store. Hey, Reggie, before we let you go, give us some thoughts about USC this year. Lincoln Riley has got a great recruiting class. Mace is a big USC fan. He goes hot and cold on Lincoln.
Yeah, cold last year.
Yeah, where are you on Lincoln Riley? Do you think he's the guy to turn it around, or are you high or low on USC this year?
Listen, I'm always high on USC, all right, because it's my school. I love them. But I think right now, one of the things that's plagued us, is the quarterback play hasn't been as great. Saw a few games last year, too many turnovers, or just maybe holding on to the football too long. Also, the other thing was just that the quarterback play in Lincoln Riley's offense has always been involved in the run game. So he's always had these dual threat quarterbacks that have put a lot of pressure on defenses when they could possibly take off and run and score, right? Kyler Murray, even Baker Mayfield. And so we haven't seen that dual threat component, especially last year at the quarterback position. And I think that kind of hurt them. I think they kind of made the offense a little predictable and a little vanilla. And so I want to see the QB play get back more involved in just into the run game so that it's just adding an extra weapon to this offense. And then I think overall, I just want to see the team just get off the bus ready to hit somebody in the mouth. And when I say that, I mean just playing physical football. When Lincoln was at Oklahoma, he ran the football a lot. And that was one of the things I was a big fan of, was how he ran the football. They would dominate in the run game. I didn't see that same domination in the run game last year. And so those are areas that I feel like he needs to improve on this year. I like his creativity. I like his mindset. But if the thing he's known for, which is great QB play, we're not seeing that happening, then that's an issue, because that position has to always be elite.
Yeah. Because
he's already coached 3-4 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. So we're expecting a certain level of brand from you now that you've shown us this. And it cannot be any significant drop-off from one year to the other. I don't care if it's, Caleb Williams to whomever. That next guy has to be a guy. And that's just what we have not seen, this past year, from Lincoln. And so that's where, I'm looking to see that improvement change dramatically this year.
I'm with you. Improvement, dramatic. I like all that stuff, Reggie.
Reggie, it's great catching up with you, man.
Awesome to get you on. Thanks for jumping
Absolutely,
on camera,
fellas.
too.
Appreciate you.
Come back anytime, man.
Absolutely. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
Reggie, have a great day.
Reggie Bush.
See ya.
Cool.
All right, coming up next on Friday.